Scrooge was dead. 'Tis true. His death notice was reported by all the major London newspapers. His funeral was not a mournful event. If members of the press had attended, and if they had come to report on who wept the loudest and who grieved the most, they left sadly disappointed. Scrooge broke every protocol in planning his own funeral. Instead of being waked in his 3-story townhouse in Mayfair, he combined his wake with his funeral service at the Church of St. Martin in the Fields. The 400 people in attendance, invited not to grieve his passing, but to celebrate his transformed life after the encounter with 3 ghosts on Christmas Eve. Scrooge left specific instructions that his casket be closed. He disliked the practice of people filing by the dead like window shoppers and then whispering to one another, "Ah, he makes a lovely corpse." His nephew Fred, the only child of his adoring sister Fanny, was the first of a short list of people to give eulogies. Following Fred, Bob Cratchit rose from his place in the church. He later in life became a major partner in the firm of Scrooge and Cratchit, and he gave his own eulogy, followed by his wife Alice, who read a small memoir that she had written with her own hand about her new relationship with the transformed Scrooge and his impact on their family. Following Mrs. Cratchit, Peter Cratchit stepped into the aisle and read his own personal account of his relationship with Scrooge after his transformation. Following that was their daughter, who gave her own comments. She was the beneficiary of Scrooge's investment in her haberdashery business, and she then called herself a post-Victorian woman. As she returned to her pew in the church, her youngest brother Tim took her place. The mourners who filled the church were very familiar with the special relationship that Tim Cratchit had formed with Ebenezer Scrooge. At the time of their first meeting, the close circle of the Cratchit family knew that the soft-spoken man was known as Tiny Tim. The final ritual at the cemetery was vintage Ebenezer Scrooge. He disliked the morbid tradition of mourners throwing a handful of dirt upon the closed coffin in a deep, dark grave. Instead, he instructed Fred, his nephew, to bring a carafe of his favorite port and wine glasses for everyone encircling the grave and toast him with flair, while licking their lips and toasting him of the good memories they have. He had the last word. While raising his glass, his nephew Fred uttered one of Uncle Scrooge's famous line from Elizabeth Barrett Browning, "What I do and what I dream include thee, as wine must taste of its own grapes." 5 years ago, author Paul Mast crafted a story which brought forward Charles Dickens's famous classic A Christmas Carol. He titled his book A Cratchit Family Christmas. It focuses particularly on the transformed and renewed Ebenezer Scrooge and his very special relationship with Bob and Alice Cratchit and their 5 children, and as being their beneficiary in their future lives. A year after the book was published, the author took the book on the road as a one-man story. It will be performed on Sunday, December the 18th at a dinner theater production at the Kitty Night House overlooking the Sassafras River in Georgetown, Maryland. The time is 5 to 8 p.m. You may go on the website deepbluerestaurant.com, click on the events link, and then go to Cratchit event and get all the details for attending the buffet dinner event. Copies of the book will be on sale during the dessert time. And as the author is fond of saying, the book is free, but the autograph costs $15. Hope to see you at Deep Blue Restaurant at the Kitty Night House on Sunday, December 18th.